Look, man, it's very simple. So many times we just overcomplicate things. Now, I'm gonna give you an insight into what I would do if I was to get started off in high ticket sales as a brand new beginner, so to speak. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would fix up my social profiles. I'll make them in alignment to what I'm trying to do, which is attract high ticket sales opportunities or high ticket clients that I can close for. So that's what I'll do. I'll tidy up my profiles. I'll put on some professional pictures. Get rid of any junk or any stupid posts that I've shared. I'll clean all of that up. Once I've done that, I'm just gonna list out all my. So I want to work either if I want to work as a closer or a setter. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break it down and break down to you exactly how I would break into this high ticket sales industry with zero experience. So once I've cleaned up my social profiles, I'm gonna list out and I'm gonna probably put on a couple of documents, as in who I am, what I'm about, what my experiences are, what transferable skills I've gained, experiences that I've done that I can really utilize in my role, within the high ticket space. Now, once I've done that, guys, now look, the easiest way to break into this industry, guys, is appointment setting. A lot of these high ticket clients, they just need people that can speak and understand English and can communicate well. And most people can do that to a certain degree. And the job requirements are not that huge. And a lot of the times you can just do the messaging. So that's where I'll start off first. I will look for appointment setting opportunities. And it's exactly, guys, most people don't even know this. Now, I've got over 20 years of experience in sales, guys. I also started off as an appointment setter. I was trying to land high ticket closer opportunities, but no one was giving me a chance. Absolutely nobody was giving. Well, I can say no one was giving me a chance. I wasn't even doing enough to have someone give me a chance, but I was going after the big fishes, and obviously you need to have something about you in the high ticket space to get the attention of the big dogs. But I set my goal high, but I was like, okay, how am I going to break into this industry? And I started off as an appointment setter, guys. I'm speaking to a lot of closers right now, and they keep telling me that, you know what, I'd prefer being a closer. Of course you would. It's 10%, 20%, and who wouldn't? But then you're not landing the closer opportunities, so why not just get some experience within this industry and start off as an appointment setter? And most appointment setting roles, guys, you come in, you prove yourself, and then you can upgrade yourself to a closer. You can eventually set your own calls and take the sales calls as well. So you'll make the 5% of setting the call, and then you'll also pick up the 10% or 15% or whatever it is, for closing the call, which is even more commissions. And look, most people are not prepared to do this, and it's quite sad, because this industry is lucrative, guys, but they're not going to just take on anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry, to close their calls that they've paid. Some clients have paid hundreds of dollars, and some have even paid thousands of dollars, depending on the program, depending on the opportunity. And look, guys, this is what I would do, and let me tell you, there's many of my jobs. I'll give you one example outside of high ticket sales. Now, how I broke into, most people don't know this, but I've done 12 years in the UK in the education sector, and I worked my way up to literally a pastoral lead, head of behavior management, and I would manage and oversee a number of year groups, the whole behavior, And I didn't even, this is the crazy thing. I had no teaching qualifications, but this is just the hungry person in me. This is the person that has no quit. Tell me I can't, and I'll show you I can. And the crazy story of how I landed, my first teaching contract was literally I bumped into, I'm always networking. This is another thing most people don't do. They don't network. They don't speak to people, to help people, But look, let me tell you, because I don't want to digress. So I remember I was speaking to my old head teacher, and he was like, "Hey, Jabran, how you doing?" And I was just like telling him like what I've been doing, traveling. I've been working as a holiday rep. I got 2 degrees. I got English, British, European medals in boxing, and I'm giving him all these things of what I've done. And then he doesn't really believe me. And then he was like, "Okay, well, cut the long story short, gave him a little intro on and an update of like my last 10-15 years." And he was like, "Whoa, Jabran, what are you doing over the next few months?" And he offered me, and I thought it was voluntary, he offered me a mentoring position in the school to mentor the year 11s, the 15-16-year-old kids. And I thought it was voluntary. And then from there I landed a mentor role, and from there I landed a full-time teaching contract. I was like a cover teacher. And then from there, I moved my way out from the school, and I worked in different schools as a head of year, pastoral manager, behavior mentor, etc. And I was earning more than teachers. And that's the crazy thing. And how did I start off? And the crazy thing was, I started off on a voluntary position supervising kids through break times and lunch times and after schools. And I revert back to this high ticket space. Most people are not prepared to take a hit or go a few, I don't know, positions lower or whatever, or go to the lowest barrier of entry or whatever, and expect to win in this space. Like, oh yeah, I just want to land a closer position. I only want to do closing. I only wanted to do closing, but I wasn't getting it. So I was like, okay, right. Then I landed an appointment setting role. And look, I hated it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because my first experience as an appointment setter wasn't actually appointment setting. I ended up doing admin for the guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, if you book calls and you close them, you'll get like this, that." And I was like, okay. But the guy ended up making me do admin for his whole Facebook for a whole month, and then he just let me go. But he gave me £2,000, guys. It was about $2,700. £2,000 to do admin, like appointment setting or just building up his pipeline. And I was like, whoa, this guy's just paid me £2,000 for just doing a bit of admin, appointment setting. And I was like, this is crazy. This is actually real? And when that £2,000 hit my account, I was like, oh my God. And I remember the moment that role, like, he just let go of me after the first month, because I wasn't doing a good job. And that's when I got referred, or I went on to Upwork and whatever, and I applied for other closer positions, and that was how I got into this industry, guys. And this is what I would do. I would start off as an appointment setter. It's the easiest thing to do. You're not talking to people. If you're qualifying calls, yeah, maybe you have to make 2-3 minute calls, just qualifying the calls. But most of the times, you're just setting the calls, guys. You're dropping messages, answering DMs, and you're just qualifying, answering questions, asking questions, and then just getting people booked in on sales people's calendars. Honestly, that's the best way to get into this industry. And that's what I would do if I was to start off, in this industry. Now, if you haven't watched my video on appointment setting, I'd highly recommend you watch that. And look, guys, this is the best industry to get in right now. You ain't paying anything. It's very lucrative. You can make a lot of money. But I really wanted to come to you guys on this video. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Any questions, drop a comment below.